We are live. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Jacqui.
Yeah, absolutely. I am Jacqui Bowman Coach, and this is Jennifer Murtland of eXp Realty and the podcast, the famous Fight Club podcast. And she's got all sorts of stuff going on. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me on.
And thank you for everybody who's joining in at this like happy hour end of the week before the 4th of July weekend. So we appreciate you rocking.
We should have at least had our White Claws, Jacqui.
Right.
Those kind of parties.
You don't know what's in the mud.
Oh, that's true.
That's right. You don't know what's in the mud.
Exactly.
All right, Jen. So let's get this rolling. So what I'd like to do is, for a few different reasons. Obviously, we have our eXp Wolf Pack, which is the group, our tribe at eXp, and I'd like to help those agents get to know other agents in the pack, but also agents in the industry, just getting tips from you and just advice from you and how you got into the business. And
I never have any advice or opinions about.
I know. You're really shy.
You're really shy. Yeah.
You're really shy. So tell us what you did before you got into real estate and how long you've been in real estate.
Well, before real estate, gosh, it was a really long time ago. I had two real jobs. So the first one was as a manager of Starbucks. Mm-hmm. And I had two Starbucks in Chicago because neither one of them could afford its own manager. So I was like supposed to bring them from the red into the black. And then I did cold call commission sales with Career Builder. And I called small businesses to get them to do job postings in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And most of my clients didn't even have internet. And they were I was convincing them to do online job postings.
Is it me or like the Upper P in Michigan is like the middle of nowhere?
It's totally the middle of nowhere. And the jobs I was selling them were CNC machinist job postings.
Oh, I
didn't even know what it was.
Exciting. That sounds exciting. I'm so sad that you left that to come to real estate.
I know, exactly. I did pretty well, surprisingly, because they didn't have internet. I had no idea what the job was. It was just smile and dial.
That's awesome.
That was it.
Awesome. So you've been in the business how long?
Oh, man. Well, before I got licensed in 2010, but the 2 years prior to that, I was actually, what did I do? I was licensed in Arizona as an assistant. And then when I moved to Ohio, I wholesaled and invested in property. And then I was like, it's time to get a real estate license. So that's what I did.
Awesome. Sweet. So since then, I love what you and Monica do. If you don't know Monica Weekly, she's on your podcast. I'm going to have you talk about your podcast. Yeah. But tell agents out there, a little bit about you and how you grew your business, how you prospect and how you lead generate.
So I think I prefer to talk to people I don't know. And I think you have to make that distinction pretty quickly. And so I started off as an investor and I would door knock the default list and then talk to them and say, hey, has the bank talked to you about, because back then it was 2008, 2009, and there was a lot of short sales happening, a lot of foreclosures. So I was like, has the bank talked to you about a short sale? And they would say no, usually, and then they would invite me in, and then we would do the deal. Right. And so then when I got my real estate license, I still door knock today. I actually just door knocked a couple days ago. You can see on my Facebook page. But then I do a lot of cold calling. So expires, for sale by owners, circle prospecting. The goal is to make contacts.
Right.
It's really simple. Contacts lead to contracts. That's it.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Real Estate Fight Club podcast. What is that about? Because obviously people that know me know I am not doing what Jen's doing. So talk to us about the podcast and how awesome it is.
Yeah, you and Monica are more similar. So the podcast started while I was traveling. So I was living in Mexico at the time, running with my partner, Alan Wisman. He's my business partner for Team Synergy. So we were running the company in Ohio while I was traveling the world. But Monica and I were just chatting, and she's a coach too. And then I used to be a coach, and I have a passion for helping agents. And we also wanted to use it as like a recruiting tool for people if they, wanted to change brokerages or whatever. So it was like twofold. And so we just started the podcast, and we are very different in how we do business. So clearly I'm more of a cold call person, and she's more of like a relationship builder. And so we take on a topic like, should the buyer write a letter to the seller? And I'll be like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. And then she's like, well, it depends. Like, she's just the nicer version
I love
of being a realtor.
Well, and what I love about the podcast is it shows that differentiation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of how Monica can be successful with relationship based,
right,
and you can be successful with
right,
prospecting based, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's true whether we're talking about the real estate business or agent attraction too. I think there's so many different ways to do agent attraction, and people are like, I'm looking for the secret formula. And it's like, there is no secret formula. You just have to adapt to yourself.
Yeah.
And decide what's going to work for you. And so
exactly. But like,
love it.
It is interesting though, if we're talking about agent attraction, like we do prospect outside of people that I know, and we use LinkedIn to do that. So right now we're building a team in Portugal, because that was one of the places that I lived while I was abroad. And I love Lisbon. It's like one of my favorite cities and the best food ever. Have you been to Lisbon?
No.
You need to go. So I'm hoping, and I really want to get out of the country now. So I'm hoping what'll happen is like we gain a lot of traction, and then I can go visit my team in Portugal. But those are people that I don't know. But I'm also like talking to people that I do know because I care about them. And like, I know that because I know them so well, if I feel passionate that this is the best place for them, like I'm going to tell them.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's a hard thing because you're great at the cold calling, but us relationship-based people, we're like, we don't want to be salesy, and we don't want to call people, and da, da, da.
It's not being salesy. You're fighting for your friends. Like, I adopt the philosophy of like, I always tell the truth, even if like you don't want to hear it. I like literally cannot help it. Like that movie with Jim Carrey where he always tells the truth. So it's like, dude, I'll be with my friends. I'll be like, well, if they ask me a question about real estate, I'll be like, well, if you were at EXP, this is what would happen. Like, whatever, like you're really missing out on money, or like whatever it is. Like, if I really, really feel that it is the best place, then I'm just going to keep like bringing it up because I want them to be the best that they can be.
They don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they're missing.
How would they know? I didn't know. Monica tried to talk to me for a year.
Right.
And then I finally got it once I was out of town. And
even that relationship-based girl got you. I love it. I love it. So before we get off the podcast, you actually upload those all to YouTube. And so how do they follow you on YouTube? And, what else is on your YouTube channel? Tell them about that. There's a ton of content on there.
There's so much. So the podcast is everywhere. So like Apple, like wherever you listen to podcasts, we're there. Spotify, and it's called Real Estate Fight Club Podcast. And we do upload it. The YouTube channel is it's just my name, Jennifer Murtland. And I interview agents from like all different brokerages because I think that, Alan. I like to interview agents from all different brokerages because I think like we're all real estate agents, right? Yeah. And if we only took advice from people like in our sandbox, we would never grow. So we talk to people from all over the place and even internationally. And so there's a lot of tips in there too. There's just a lot of stuff. Just go there, subscribe.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So on YouTube, is it under Jennifer Murtland or is it under? Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. All right, awesome. And then I heard that you have an event coming up. It's a mastermind. Tell us the profile of the agent that you're looking for. I know that you've got a few more spots that are open for that.
Yeah, I think we have 3 more spots open, and it's a mastermind for agents that are doing 35 to 75 deals. It's all brokerages, and we have mostly people from like the Midwest and the East Coast, but like, well, as long as you meet that criteria. What the mastermind is for is I've been a part of a lot of good ones. Have you've been in a mastermind, I assume too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If people have never been in one, it's a good way to talk to other agents that are doing a similar level of business and just getting ideas from each other. And it's like a board of directors. So as a result of masterminds that I've been in, my brain has like, I want to be like expanded. My mind is expanded. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I didn't even think about that, because we're so stuck in doing everything as we always do it. It's hard to get out of our heads. And so so it's a monthly mastermind just for agents that fit that criteria. And we sometimes have guests. Sometimes you're presenting like your business or an idea that you have, and we're helping you like a board of directors would. I mean, we are small business owners and we can't afford a board of directors. And this is what that is.
Yeah, I love it. And masterminds are so great. It goes back to that old saying, you know, 2 minds are better than one, but it's literally like there's 10 minds that are better than one. And you have to go in totally open to play all in and say, like, this is what I'm thinking of doing. This is what I tried. What do you all think? And you have to really be open-minded to receive that feedback of like, well, I've done that before. And this is what happens. Yes, exactly. And so just getting that feedback and taking that to heart and be like, okay, even though I dreamt about that great idea for 3 hours, maybe it wasn't that great.
Well, I think the thing is like, we obviously all think we have good ideas, right? But then there's sometimes we don't think it all the way through. Well, I definitely don't. I always say like, I jump and then make sure and then check to see if I packed my parachute. But like sometimes you need to check your parachute first. And that's like what this is. Like, go ahead and try it, but here's some things you need to think about. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. And enhance that vision, right?
Exactly.
Like, oh, I did this, and then I also did this, and this, and made it 10 times better. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Well, I know that, you know, we only have a minute or two left. So what did I not ask you that you wish I had asked so that you could tell everybody? Anything? Or anything in closing?
I think like most people would ask if I could say like one thing, which is the key to our success. And I think that, and I know what it is that as people, at least myself, I always try to make things harder than they are. But to be successful in real estate, it's all it is time on task, and it's consistent time on task. And then the task is making contacts, and that's it. If you're not at the level where you need to be, then, or where you want to be, you just need to talk to more people. Like, it's that simple. Don't buy anything. Don't do anything.
I love it. And it doesn't matter if they're people you know or you don't know. It doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Or prospecting based. Having conversations consistently.
That's it.
I love it. That is a great closing. Well, I hope you have, and everyone watching today has a wonderful holiday weekend. I just want to thank you so much again for joining me for this quick interview. And I wish you the best of luck second half of 2021. Thanks, Jen.
Let's do it. Bye, Jacqui. See ya.